Debbie Strickland from the Scrapbook Blessings design team, and I'd like to invite you to join our monthly challenge. Our monthly challenge this month is going to be masking. So as you can see, there's some masking on this cute little tag that I made. And you can make any kind of project that includes masking, and you just upload it to a folder in our Facebook group. But I also wanted to feature this cute little stamp by Bugaboo Stamps. And there's a link down below to this stamp. She is super cute. And I like the digital stamps because I can size them up and down and do all kinds of fun things with them with mixed media. So that was a lot of fun to do with her. And I was excited to kind of, I don't know, she just said patriotic to me. I just decided to make her patriotic. So this is a patriotic Valentine. Isn't that a cool idea? All right, so right after this, there'll be a tutorial that shows you how I made this tag. But remember, you can make a card, you can make a scrapbook page, anything that involves masking. All right, thanks and have a great day. Okay, so let's get started on this tag. I think tags are one of my very favorite things to do. That little image is the Bugaboo stamp, digital stamp that I printed up, and I just colored it with my just regular colored pencils. And you can see that tag is one that I used my Tim Holtz tag die, and I just punched it, and I'm covering it with gesso. So that's some pretty standard stuff. I'm taking my F&W inks here, and I think I mentioned that you can get these at Hobby Lobby. And they're an acrylic ink, so they're permanent when they're dry. But they tend to be semi-translucent, and they're fun because, you know, they're very watery, so you can do a lot of fun things with them. So I used red, I think it's like crimson, and white here. And I'm poking at them, and I'm going to add a little more red because I just wanted it, I didn't really want it to be pink per se. I wanted it to be red with areas of white because I'm doing that whole patriotic theme. So I just dabbed that. That is some archival ink, and I've got a stamp. It's an old stamp from Club Scrap. And I'm just going to stamp this everywhere. You need to use archival ink if you want things to not move. And so I tend to use archival. I do love distress inks, and I have every single one of them. But especially if I'm working with any kind of acrylic paint, I tend to gravitate more towards my archival inks because when they dry, they're not moving, even on top of that. So I'm going to make my masks now, and I'm going to make them just out of sticky notes. And you can see I fold it in half and make just some hearts. And I make each one kind of individually, and I cover up a lot of the tag with hearts. But you need to have some negative space too. That's just some regular deco art acrylic paint, just cheap acrylic paint there. And I'm dabbing that, and there's the masking, right? Everywhere that those hearts are is not getting covered with the blue paint. So basically masking off so that it's sort of like a reverse, right? What's beneath will show through. And this is a technique that's fairly common in mixed media, masking. I know that Kat Hand did a tutorial about it. I used a little brush to try to get it nice and thick. I had originally not wanted to use the brush because it would creep under the masks, but the red was such a bright and vibrant color, it was having a hard time covering. So, and it did ooze in a little bit, so I had to kind of wipe away a little bit. And I pull off all my little masks, and it's like revealing a treasure when you pull off a mask. I love this stark contrast. This was just like, and I just play, and sometimes the play comes out ugly, but more often than not, it doesn't. So I dried it off camera, and this is my Molotow paint pen. It's an acrylic paint pen, and it's white, and it's nice and opaque. And I'm just tracing the edges of the hearts because that covers up a lot of the places where it sort of oozed under and looks wobbly and gives it kind of a smooth finish. And I like the red, white, and blue aspect of it. I like that that's being emphasized there. So this project, it was just fun. I don't start out knowing every step. I start out with a hint of an idea, and then I like this just came to me as I was working. This is called gel tar gel, and it's a little bit like clear stencil paste, but it's softer, and when it dries it's clear and it doesn't have a harsh edge. It sort of has a rounded edge. So I added a little bit of that marine blue ink, and I added some interference Pearl X. And it's hard for you to see, but it is so pretty. And then this is a stencil that I cut using my Silhouette. Silhouette stencils are super, super cheap and wonderful. And I mean, like 25 cents a stencil, maybe. Very much worth it, because stencils can, you know, they can be kind of pricey, $6-7 a stencil. This one cost me a couple pennies. So I'm just stenciling on, and the gel, the tar gel is not super crisp, and it is kind of runny. Anyway, it all dried out. You're probably thinking to yourself, you colored that in with your Prismacolor pencils. Why are you putting matte medium over the top? Well, matte medium is clear, and it allows me to write on top of that. The idea behind matte medium is that it literally, the term medium means you can add things on top of it. It literally takes away the slick surface of the colored pencil and allows you to just use that regular old Sharpie marker right on top of it. And really, that would gum up a colored pencil. So matte medium is not only a glue, it's also a surface on which you can add things. And you can see I am distressing with my archival inks as well. I'm distressing my little girl. She reminds me of how I used to dress my daughter when she was a kiddo. Kind of like a little tomboy, because that's how I am. So I'm stamping this other stamp that says Be Mine twice in the archival ink, and I'm going to cut it out here. Because it isn't just a patriotic tag, it's a patriotic Valentine tag, which I don't know why I felt like I needed to do that, but I don't know, I saw that heart and I saw a flag, so I did it. It just is fun. I love this stamp because her little shirt has a crazy quilt heart on it, and I'm a big time quilter, so that's why I chose this image. Plus I like her giant heart that she's holding. So I'm going to lift up the, I'm popping up the saying. So I pop up the big heart, and then I cut it out again out of the dark blue, just the Be Mine, and I pop that up. So there's some dimension to this tag. And then I'm taking my Zig Painty, which I'm just putting gold dots on there for stars, and you can see them probably better in the photographs that I did of the piece. You can kind of see them there. I do them all along the edge too. So I cut out that piece of vellum to make a little vellum doily. I just wanted one more layer in between the background and the doll. So you can see I'm going to take that same matte medium, slur it all over the back of my doll, and then I'm going to add the little vellum doily that I cut. That was a Spellbinders die from a while back. And then straight onto the background. And matte medium glues to just about everything. That's what I love about it. This is just some ribbon I got at a thrift store. And some baker's twine. I love fibers and ribbons. I know they're not as popular as they used to be, but I really, really love them. So I'm going to tie a little bow at the top. And I'm almost done here. Just fiddling with my bow. This tag has such a lovely shimmer. That interference gold is very pretty. So then I'm going to take one of my favorite tools, which is fray check, and I'm going to put it right in the center of that bow. And what that will do is make it so my bow won't come undone. And then of course on the ends so that they don't unravel. And that's it. That is my tag. So I hope you like it, and I hope you learned some interesting things about masking and mixed media. And I hope you participate in our challenge this month. Thanks.